Hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Rose Wrights and I make episode tutorials. I've also been dipping my toes into some anti-MLM content as well, and I also have a few other videos that will be coming out soon. That's different from the type of videos that I usually post. In this video today, we will be talking about all about spot directing. As I was looking at my past videos, I realized the spot directing video I have is very much outdated. It hasn't been updated in a while. So I thought I should do a 2023 version of spot directing and overlay spot directing and just go into depth about it. What is it used for and how it can make your story look great. Okay, so I already put my character in the scene here and I'm going to show you how to spot direct. Now, like I was saying, spot directing is very essential if you want to have a realistic story with a bunch of different, especially if you're trying to do club scenes or make your backgrounds look more full, like the beach, clubs, maybe a party. So knowing how to spot direct is essential to have an amazing story versus just doing basic screen center and all that other stuff. It's great to do spot directing. So we're just going to start with the basics. I do have other videos where I show you how to do different type of spot directing. I will put those videos in my description box, but for now we're just going to do basic spot directing. And like I said, it's super easy. So the first thing you want to do is click show helpers, and you'll see this thing right here called spot directing. You want to click on that. So the next thing you want to do is you'll see a couple things here. You'll see switch to scale. You click that and it makes your character bigger or smaller. You click it again and it moves your character. Okay. This bring to the front is basically if you have a bunch of people in the scene and your characters somehow fall behind other characters in terms of layers, you can bring them to the front. So that way they can be in front of the people you need to be in front of or they want to be in front of. And then this one here is forward one layer, so that means you move them up a layer, and backward a layer means you want to move them back minus one layer. And then send to the back, means you want them behind everyone else pretty much. So that's pretty much the intro to spot directing. It's very good to get familiar with this here. And then you see right here in the bottom right, you see change character. So if you are trying to spot direct more than one character, you will click on this here. But since I only have one character, it won't go anywhere. If you have a couple overlays or maybe just one overlay and you want to spot direct your overlay, you will click this one here. And this one says choose character and overlay. If you had multiple here, we do not have that. We just have one. So the thing about spot directing is you can customize it the way you need it to be customized. So for this particular scene, I have a nice background, it's apartment background, and I want to scale her so that way she doesn't look like a giant in the city. So in this particular case, I will be making her smaller so that way she can fit into the scene. So I don't want her that small though. So I'm just kind of playing around with it, scaling her down to size, and then scaling her bigger if I wanted to. So usually you move upward, make them bigger, and you move downward to make them smaller, things like that. So I think this is kind of it here. So what I can do is like place her here, depending on what your story looks like. This is how you would probably want to do it. So again, because of the scene I'm doing, this looks perfect. So I can do that, or I can move her here. Obviously do what's best for your scene. I want her, like if I wanted her to be a background character, I made her very small so that way she can be just that, a background character. So after you spot directed and made them as big as you wanted, make them as small as you needed them to be, or however, change the layers by using these things here, you will have a code right here. And this is your spot directing code. And this does a couple things. This tells episode where you are in the story. Where your character is in the story, what exact spot they're in, what zone they are in, the character, and the layer. Okay, and that's important, especially if you're having multiple peoples in a scene. So I'm going to paste that code in here so I no longer need this, right? And also, what's pretty cool about spot directing is you can spot direct someone to a specific spot. So it's, if you know basic directing, it's mostly like you can do at rows, enters from left to screen right, and things like that. It's very basic, and it doesn't make it, it doesn't have that advanced directing feels. It's pretty basic directing, and if it works for you, that's absolutely fine. Um, no hate towards that at all. So, but in this case, if I want my character to walk off the scene to a specific spot, then I can use spot directing for that as well. So then all I would have to do is just move my character, try to keep her in the same spot, and then I can move her off screen so that way no one sees her. And then I have a new code here. And then I want to copy that new code, okay? And I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so now we have two codes. So this first code is her standing code, and this is where she's going to be standing, and this is where I want her to walk to. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is use walks. Yeah, walks to, and this is it, and then we're going to put in the time, we're going to put in 5. And so I'm also going to put an animation is, let's do, I know there's a phone one, talk phone. There we go. Well, let's do neutral loop. And Rose is walk underscore. There's a phone one for this, I know. Let me figure that out. Okay, it's walk underscore talk underscore phone underscore neutral. There's so many underscores and it's so confusing. So this, again, is my spot direction for where she already is, which was right here. And this is the animation for that. And this is where I want her to be. And so because I want her to walk to this place, you need to put walks to. If you don't put walks to, episode won't make her move. You'll probably get an error if anything. So if you want your characters to move to a specific spot, you need to put that you want them to walk there when it comes to spot directing. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So now we're saving. Pretty basic spot directing stuff. Like I said, it's mostly just you playing around with the tools. So you see, so in this case, since she's kind of like that, I'm going to put and Rose faces right. Just so I have it all in, because I think that's the default. If you don't put like where you want your character to face, I think they automatically face them left. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I notice in my experience, like if I don't put if I want them to face left or right, they default to left. Maybe it's just me. So as I was saying, that's pretty much it. It's really, really easy for spot directing. Like I said, the more people that you have, the more spot directing you'll have to do. And like I said, all you really have to do is play with these here. And if you have more than one character in a scene, you would just click on change character. And if you have more than one overlay, you would just click on change overlay. Like I said, it's like all you're really doing is playing around with the animations. You're playing around with the spot directing, see what fits, see what doesn't fit. Just play around with it and see what you like in terms of spot directing. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to spot direct your layers as well. Not your layers, I'm sorry, your overlays. I was reading the word layer and I'm thinking layers now. I'm going to show you how to spot direct your overlays. Okay, now we're going to spot direct some overlays. So I do have a video all about how to create overlays and things, but I would just be very brief with this. So all you have to do is put in the name of the overlay that you want to use. So I'm going to put @overlay, which is important, and I'm going to paste the name of the overlay I want to use, and then I'm going to put create. Okay, and then I'm going to put @overlay cars. Oh, I put card. Don't want that. Side pink. Opacity 1. Now, just so you're aware, I can't speak English today, sorry. In case you're not aware, the opacity scale is from 0 to 1. So you could put 0 0.5, 0 0.4, stuff like that. Now, you may want to play around with the opacity, especially if you want things to like slowly appear, like especially like an intro of something. Um, it's good to play around with the opacity. So play around with the scale in terms of the opacity. So now that I have that, I created my overlay and I wanted it in the scene. Now we're going to save so it can actually be in the scene. And I'm going to show you how to spot direct that. Okay, so it's here. So I got the pink car. So what I'm going to do is click change overlay, just so it knows I want to play around with the overlay. So what I'm going to do, this is a big car. I can scale it down. Okay, I can scale it down. And like I said, you don't have to use this car, obviously. You could upload your own overlays, but just for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use this here. So it looks like it doesn't even have a back. Oh my God. So it does have a front though. So what I'm going to do is I can place this here, right? And I can just leave that there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I got it to the size that I want, and I got it to the yeah, I scaled it where I want it, and I put it where I want, which is the code here, and this is the layer. Now, again, depending on how many people are in your scene, what's going on, you may want to adjust the layer, but you, like I said, you can do it by putting +1 a layer or minus a layer. If you, just in case it doesn't fit in with the screen. So if you're wondering, oh my God, like my characters are in front of the car and you don't want that to happen, just move them back a layer. Okay, so I'm going to copy that code and I'm going to put it here. Okay, and that's the code here. So I did do another video on how to move your layer. Why do I keep saying layers? Move your overlays, especially like a car. I do have a video on that. I will link it in the description box on how to make it look like your car is moving, or someone's driving the car. So that's pretty cool. So now that I put that in there, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is it. Like I said, real easy stuff. Okay, so that's all spot directing is. Click show helper, spot direct, and you scale it and move it to where you want it to be, and make sure you copy and paste the code into your script. It gets more complicated when you want to move it around and things like that. Give it its own animations and stuff. But basic spot directing, this is all it is. This is truly all it is. Just playing around with some of the features here. Like I said, play around with the spot directing tool. Play with the scale. Make it as big as you want. Make it as small as you want. Play around with the layering. Forward a layer, back a layer. Bring to front, send to back. Play around with it. Okay, just to see what you like. And again, especially when you're doing things like party scenes and club scenes, or scenes that just require a lot of people, a lot of characters to be in it, knowing how to master spot directing because you want it to look as realistic as possible. Learning how to master spot directing will make your scenes look more realistic and believable, and having background characters and maybe background things will make it do just that. Okay, that's how you make your story come to life. One of the things you can do to make your story come to life is mastering spot directing. Okay? So I hope this video helps you. I showed you how to spot direct your characters, and I showed you how to spot direct your overlays. And this is what any overlay you do. That's how you spot direct. Like I said, it gets tricky once you want to shift it, but like we did with the character, it's literally the same thing. So if you want to move your overlay, let's say to the right, okay, you can do that. Let me change overlay here. You can move your vehicle just like what we did with the character. Is literally the same thing. Okay, so if I wanted to drive off, all I would have to do is just move it off the screen here. Okay, and I would copy this code and I'll paste it into my script. Okay, that's literally all it is. in terms of moving your overlays, having them go in one spot, making them go up and down. You can even have a code where your car jumps, like not your car, but you can have a ball go up and down. You can start off your ball being on the ground, and then you can have it like bounce up and down. It's all spot directing. It's literally all spot directing and mastering spot directing and knowing where and when to put your overlays. I have a couple videos about that already. So I will paste a lot of the videos that I'm referring to in my description box if you guys need more help with spot directing and overlays and layers, since I keep mentioning them. I will put them all in my description box for you guys to find, for you guys to um, just take a peek at it. If there's other types of videos you guys want me to do, if you're still confused on how to do spot directing, I can do how to do a party scene, which I think I might do actually, do how to do a party scene or a club scene in episode. I think that will be my next video. So keep a lookout for that. Or just do a scene that requires a lot of people. So I hope this video was informative. Again, if you guys have any questions, any episode questions, please follow me on Instagram and message me on Instagram your script and a screenshot of your script so that way I can help you the best of my abilities. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.